Veterans Stadium, the glistening new home of the Eagles, was an optimistic sight for Philadelphia fans as 1971 began. 1970 had been a disastrous year that produced only 3 victories. But record crowds, starved for a winner, poured in to see their Eagles reborn. The Eagles team that greeted the new stadium was sprinkled with seasoned veterans and salted with youth. On September 19th, the new year began with the Bengals, a rough, tough team, eager to stomp the Eagles into the AstroTurf. Pete Lisk, the new Eagle quarterback, endured the pummeling and passed Philadelphia in sight of victory. But in the second half, the Bengals exploded, and the Eagles were blown out, 37-14. After the loss to Cincinnati, the Eagles were battered by Dallas, 42-7. Then in the season's third week, they met the 49ers. The Eagles were buried by San Francisco as John Brodie buggy whipped passes to a variety of receivers with stunning accuracy. Three straight agonizing losses, a bitter start for the faithful. For the players, the sad story of 1970 seemed as though it would be a twice-told tale in 1971. Then when all seemed lost, a change was made. A sturdy new pair of legs carried Eagle fortunes. Ed Kayat, who combined a policy of strength through discipline with a hit-or-be-hit philosophy, became head coach. Ed Kayat brought not instant victory, but the will to win. And in the season's fourth week, the Eagles mauled Minnesota's Snowmen. The defense traded punches with the Vikings, but in the end, the bruised purple limped home with a hard-earned 13-0 victory. In Oakland, raw Rick Arrington started at quarterback, and he shuffled the silver and black into a first-half hole. But the 10-0 lead melted away when the dealer's knees buckled and the Raiders blazed for 5 touchdowns. After 5 straight losses, the winless Eagles finally found their wings against the New York Giants. While the defense drowned the Giants in rain-swollen puddles, the offensive line pried open huge holes, and Eagle runners poured through. The trampling of New York resulted from the no-glory work of the offensive line. Rich Stevens, Mark Norquist, Henry Allison, Wade Key, Mike Evans, Jim Skaggs, and Steve Smith. 7 men mowing a path to victory. Larry Watkins' touchdown ended the drought as Philadelphia won its first, 23-7. Next came the Denver Broncos, a team ripe for the Eagles' second bite into sweet victory. The offense scored just 1 lone touchdown, but it was allied with a defense grown proud of its emerging strength. The specialty teams, led by the NFC's leading punter, Tom McNeil, and number 51, Ike Kelly, converted ill-advised Bronco decisions into turnovers. Then the screaming Eagles soared when Bill Hobbs, number 56, lived a linebacker's dream. Defense was the catalyst of Eagles celebration, and defense was the mighty right arm that preserved win number 2. After 2 straight joyous victories, the Philadelphia Eagles came together as a team. In week number 8, they met the rival Redskins, and their game plan was designed to chop down Larry Brown, the legs of the Washington offense. With Brown shortened to a stump, the defense forced quarterback Billy Kilmer to launch air balls that floated dreamily into the Eagles' secondary. The defense carved a chink in Redskin armor. And then Pete Lisk and the offense mustered a clutch touchdown that broke the scoreless tie. Needing only 3 points for a triumph, the Eagles saw victory vanish in the shadows. And then, with the diehards howling, Washington tied the game at 7. Within 1 minute of a loss, Eagle pride and Bill Bradley's interception gave Philadelphia a final chance. Lisk lifted a prayer to Harold Jackson, but no timeouts remained. With time dying, the clock ticked off the last seconds. The Eagles had won every battle, but the war ended in a tie. Through 8 weeks, the team was growing stronger, nourished by a fierce defense, and fired by a rapidly improving offense. In 1971, Pete Lisk came from Denver to general the Eagle attack. With Lisk as its leader, the Eagles' backfield revolved around a variety of punishing runners. There were Tom Bailey and Albert Davis, a stumpy rookie built of cast iron. There was Tom Woodashek, still pumping and turning his way up the gut. Turning it up outside was Lee Boges, a hard man to handle in the open field. The pro's pro in the backfield was Ronnie Bull, a shrewd runner who relied on 10 years of instinct to bust the long one. Blending with the ground game was a passing attack that skewered defenses in the Eagles' mid-season surge to prominence. For receivers, Lisk had veteran tight end Gary Baldwin, a greyhound in a position dominated by bears. Balancing Baldwin was rookie Harold Carmichael, a 6'8", 7th-round selection, and the prize of a superb Eagle draft. At the flanks were Harold Jackson and Ben Hawkins. At 5'10", Jackson hid in the turmoil, then appeared like a phantom to rendezvous with the ball. Harold Jackson, 175 pounds of quicksilver, slithering through the secondary. Lurking in Jackson's shadow was Ben Hawkins, number 18, the Eagles' other big play receiver. The Eagles' hawk still flies free and easy for Philadelphia. With chin strap dangling and arms pumping, Hawkins beats a desperate path to the end zone. After a haggard start, the offensive guns were fully loaded for the final 5 games of 1971. After 9 games, the Eagles' record stood at 2-6-1. In St. Louis, they rode on the roar of the special teams, whose lusty hitting produced the first touchdown. Cardinals' defense was blown about like tumbleweeds as Philadelphia scored easily and often and won 37-20. Week number 11 brought a rematch with the Redskins, who escaped with a narrow 20-13 win. In Detroit, the Eagles choked off the Lions' last breath in the NFC's Central Division. In the first half, the defense shut out one of football's most varied and explosive offenses. A champion's mixture of timely defense, ball control, and Tom Dempsey's record-setting 52-yard field goal gave the Eagles a heady 13-0 halftime lead. But in the final two quarters, quarterback Greg Landry commanded a furious Lion rally, and with 1 minute and 53 seconds remaining, Detroit led 20-16. With Detroit smugly confident of their destiny, Pete Lisk marshaled a heroic 73-yard victory march. A lob to Harold Jackson placed the ball at the Eagles' 41. Then a bullet to Ben Hawkins put the ball at the 5. With just 1 minute 3 seconds remaining, a Sam sneak was called, and Pete Lisk rifled a pass to Kent Kramer, who burrowed in for a glorious 23-20 victory. The next week, a reservoir of confidence born from success spilled over into a 19-7 romp over St. Louis. The man most responsible for victory was Tom Dempsey, who booted 4 field goals, including an incredible 54-yarder that broke the record he set 1 week earlier against Detroit. In the season's last game, the Eagles sought their 3rd straight win. Against New York, the defense signaled the 6th victory of 1971. On offense, well-disguised plays turned into touchdowns as Philadelphia rolled over the Giants 41-28. 1971, a year that saw the Eagles flower and crest into contenders. 1971 was built on a defense that contained the last 4 number 1 draft picks. First came Tim Rossovich and Leroy Keys. Then came Steve Zabel, and finally, Richard Harris. The Eagles came to hit. They came to swarm and collide, manhandle and gang tackle. In 1971, the man with the ball was fair game for the defense, as Ed Kayat's hit or be hit credo paid handsome rewards. The defense was not a collection of individual stars, but a collection of individuals that made the team the star. At tackle was their quick-charging captain, Don Holtz. Knifing up the middle was Ernie Calloway. And pursuing across the field was number 88, Gary Pettigrew. At the ends were Don Brum and Mel Tom, number 99, the man with the 2 first names and single purpose, get the quarterback. Flanking Tom was rookie Richard Harris, number 84, another agile man mountain from Grambling College. Together, both Harris, number 84, and Tom, number 99, worked in perfect harmony. At one linebacker, there was number 89, Steve Zabel, who made the tough transition from tight end to linebacker and played like a veteran. The other outside backer was number 50, Ron Porter, a clutch player who made clutch plays. Roaming over the middle was Tim Rossovich, number 82, a mean man to meet in the open field. Behind the linebackers was the secondary. At one corner was Al Nelson, an expert at man-to-man defense, who doubled as one of the league's most dangerous return specialists. Working in tandem with Nelson was Nate Ramsey, number 24, who sifted through blockers to shut down the sweep. At strong safety was Leroy Keys, whose 6 interceptions ranked him 4th in the NFC. The free safety was Bill Bradley, who in his first full season as a starter became an All-Pro. Super Bill was swatted at like a fly, but he hung on to meet bigger men head on. Meticulous coaching and a sense for the ball allowed Bradley to intercept more passes in 1971 than anyone else in pro football. But hard tackles and game-saving interceptions were just a part of Bill Bradley's story. He was the symbol of Eagles spirit. Through good times and bad, Bradley and the Eagles endured. They never lost heart, and in the end, their patience was rewarded with a sweet ride of winners. The Philadelphia Eagles, a team of 40 men, every man a hitter. The Philadelphia Eagles, a team on the brink of success, a team flying on new wings to victory in 1972. Don't miss these 2 exciting Eagle preseason games at Veterans Stadium. For information, call 463-5500.